And we're live. Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to the 4th episode of Australia Got Tech Talent Show. Thank you so much for finding some time to join us today. I'm hoping you're enjoying your Thursday lunch. I'm Yana Martins. I'm your Australia Got Tech Talent Show host. The event that aimed to give technical professionals the opportunity to showcase their human side while talking about complex problem in the tech industry. You know, often we struggle to convey the true essence of our tech innovation in relatable and human way. So this show, we believe that in the power of incorporating your personal journey and engaging with the audience. So we all know that the key to standing out in today's competitive tech field is not only about technical expertise, but also about quality like creativity, problem solving, and emotional intelligence. So please make sure to tag and share this video with your colleagues and friends who need to hear this. And of course, please introduce yourselves in the comments. If you're not introducing yourselves in the comments, we don't know that you're here, and it feels like we're talking with the crickets, and obviously that's not nice. So I really encourage you to say hi in the comments. Just say hi, maybe introduce yourself. So that would be great to see who's here with us today. Just before we dive deep into the topic, just want to quickly remind you that we're streaming live today on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And we're running the show monthly, every last Thursday of the month at 12 p.m. So please stay tuned. And if you want to make sure you don't miss the next show, join our meetup group as well to receive the invites for upcoming events. We're planning to run some face-to-face events in the future as well. So keep an eye on it as well. If you have any questions ready for Tammy, keep them in mind, and she's trying to answer it for you at the end of her presentation. And also keep in mind that we have a prize for the audience favorite at the end of the year. So please make sure that you stay till the end of the show and participate in the voting. So with a few people joining us saying hi. Thank you guys for saying hi. Oh, the LinkedIn user, sorry, you might need to say your name because LinkedIn is not nice to us. Zane here, Jason's here. Thank you guys for joining us. Please make sure to say hi. As I mentioned, if you're not saying hi, I don't know that you're here. And before I'll pass it over to Tammy, our today's speaker and contestants, I would like to introduce our judging panel. They will be evaluating the presentation based on innovation and creativity, engagement and audience impact, as well as problem solving and critical thinking. So while you guys introducing yourself, I pass it on to our judges. Let's start with Tinesh, please.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Tanesh. I'm recently moved from London to Australia, so really happy to say to my folks back home, I've got onto Australia's Got Tech Talent. We're all very happy with that. I'm a cybersecurity entrepreneur, been in cybersecurity for coming up to 25 years, so quite a long time. I've built and exited a few companies, not all in cyber, mind you. So I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly side of this business. But all I want to say is thank you for being here. And once again, Tammy, all the best and all the good luck.
Thank you, Tinesh. Shane, please, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Fantastic to connect and look forward to this session. My name's Shane Jans. I'm based in Melbourne. Work in the tech industry as well, looking after e-discovery, investigations and information governance type of solutions. We help organizations handle big data and the challenges around ever-growing volumes of data, utilizing analytics and AI and machine learning and those sort of things. So fantastic to be able to participate in this session and look forward to hearing Tammy's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Shane. And Kaiser, please.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I am Kaiser. I currently work in go-to-market partnerships at Stripe. Been in the tech space for the last 15 years across companies like Google and Snapchat and now Stripe, like I said. Originally came from Europe, so I started in Dublin and worked across a bunch of different countries in Europe, and now I've been in Sydney for the last almost 12 years. So looking forward to this.
Thank you, everyone. So a few more people joining us. Imos is here, Navjot, thank you for joining. Edwin's here, Olga's here, James here. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for saying hi. It's always nice, that you're participating and commenting. So please keep it going. So I think it's enough of introductions. So now all eyes on Tammy and her presentation. Please, Tammy. Make sure to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, so my name is Tammy Nair, and today I'm going to talk about my startup called Claro Money. I'll give you a quick introduction to myself. My name is Tammy Nair, and a bit of background. I'm an ICT professional, and I've been studying a data science degree at Sydney University. I'm looking to go to data science as everybody shows some form of data online. So I've come to realize that data science is a tool that allows you to form some data into meaningful and many different industries and contexts. I was accepted into the Western Sydney University Entrepreneurship Mentorship Program in Silicon Valley. And this was a great opportunity to expose my ideas to many people in the Bay. And it was a great opportunity for feedback on my startup idea. In short, I got plenty of valuable feedback, which I've since endeavored to evolve. Looking at my idea from a fresh perspective is one of the many benefits I got from this program, as well as the reward of giving myself a toolkit which breathes life into Claro Money. I've been in the software industry for about 13 years as a developer, tech lead, analyst programmer, and even a consultant for other startups. Excuse me. Over the years, on some amazing and complex projects, I accumulated an enriching network of peers, and I've since found some great people, some of whom I've asked to consult with me on my own startup, and I've managed to find some gems. So some of them are here today. I am the solo founder of Claro Money, and I founded it in 2021, and I'm looking to launch it this year. So let's get into the initiative and the inspiration behind it. So about 10 years ago, I was struggling with an overview of my budget. I had a full-time job, plus I was getting some decent side gigs. However, to manage my money, I was using 3 different apps. I was using an accounting app called FreshBooks, which I used to invoice my clients. And then I was using a spreadsheet to balance my accounts. And then I was using a simple budgeting app called Ace Budget, which I still use today, that managed my fixed income and expenses. I used FreshBooks to see the bottom line of what my income looks like, and it showed me the month-to-month view of my client invoices. On top of this, I also used a spreadsheet to balance my month-to-month spending and do long-term goal setting. So for instance, if I wanted to go on a holiday one month or buy a laptop, this allowed me to see the cash flow of my accounts each month and adjust each month if necessary. Now, although the budgeting app allowed me to measure my monthly budget, it came with the assumption that my month-to-month expenses and income was fixed. And since some of my projects were freelance or contract, this was hardly the case. Now, what if I could have an app that could have done all of the above? That is, invoice my clients, show me month-to-month spending, provide insights on my account, and integrate all of this into a budget that I could control. While being a curious software developer, I had some limited capacity to prototype this software. But the question became, would someone else use this app? So after building several prototypes and several tech stacks, I decided to present this idea finally in my Hex mentorship program in Silicon Valley. Needless to say, I enjoyed a good roast. There were several issues wrong with my model, which I endeavored to fix, one being our major competition, which was Xero at the time, which we eventually settled to create an alliance with by utilizing their API service so that our users integrate Xero's data with Claro Money. So this was one of the many challenges that we faced. The other major factor I could see in all of this was how I was going to grow this idea. So open banking had just been released a few years, and the idea of a semi-automated budget that pulled down transactions for you and matched them with your own budget seemed too good an opportunity to pass. It made the idea of the shortest path even shorter. So of course this idea was bolted on. I quickly utilized my network and straight away got an amazing team of engineers, UX, fintech consultants, and seasoned open banking experts. I also made the decision to go the self-funded route just to see if this idea could develop enough traction to go bigger. So together with the wealth of knowledge between us, we set out on our journey to breathe life and legislation into Claro Money. Over the years, I did some feasibility studies as well and prototyping sessions and realized that many people like me could find this concept useful. People in the gig economy, small businesses, and even sole traders or consultants specifically. As corporations and individuals continue to navigate unprecedented economical and financial challenges, they needed a tool belt to help them navigate these waters. So after some usability studies, there was a potential market for a generous 800,000 users in the Australian market. But rather than target several industries, we narrowed the Claro Money audience down to professional, scientific, and the technical industries, which was around 291,000 users and about 40% of the workforce. So we had a sizable audience to begin with. Rather than clubbing together a UI that resembled a hybrid budget, invoicing, and cash flow app, we decided to start from the root problem, which was, can the user see the bottom line for their business? From there, we built on features that made sense to the user. So the second challenge was open banking. Anyone that has gone through open banking understands that CDR compliance is not easy. The infrastructure was not only complex, but the route of having to become one was both expensive and time consuming. These were two factors that I could not afford to have at the time. The quickest solution to this was to let a third party manage this for us, and that's how I found Basic. So Basic was a CDR compliant company on the rise at the time, and it fit the requirements of the business model, so we took full advantage of it. However, the challenge started becoming more evident the more we delved into the notion of data storage. See, in order to classify our users' data, we had to save it in order to process it. In order to save it, we needed the right infrastructure. We found a loophole and we were stuck in it. So we were back at square one before we even left the ground. Even catching the data required CDR compliance. So processing it in real time had to be challenged. We started working with Basic to work around CDR compliance, and they've proven to be very flexible with their products and ensuring they work for their customers. But the issue of data security in open banking is a big one, and we wanted to do it right, even if it means having to become CDR compliant ourselves in order to provide the right solution for our users. Right now, this is an ongoing challenge, as is working with open banking API services and legislation, but we are committed to providing the right solution for our users. Another challenge cropped up in open banking, and that was how to update the transactions that were presented to the user. So thankfully, this problem was a little bit more easy to solve, and we designed a good balance of fetching API services where necessary. So let's delve into the solution that we designed. So Claro Money, Claro being clear in Portuguese, was born of the idea that a person who had several sources of income could connect all of them and see the bottom line. Over time, we refined the idea. We built finance calculators, tools and notifications that could leverage business users seeking the bottom line. So without further ado, let's take a dive into the Claro Money prototype. Okay. So just a little note on our UI. It's still an evolving work in progress, and feedback is very much appreciated. We're currently on our 8th iteration, and I'll take you through it from the beginning. So here we have create an account. You can sign in with your mobile phone number, and here is where open banking comes into play. The user can select their bank account, log into their bank account, And here we have the dashboard with all of the transactions. So these bank account transactions are pulled down using open banking, and they're classified into income and expenses and paired with invoices. So to check if they're paid, users can enter expenses and income, and Claro Money will pair these with actual incoming transactions. There's further controls to classify your transactions as income or expense by selecting your bank and adding more classification rules. Add a rule. And insert a rule. So something like this is useful for insights, which I'll delve into in a moment. Let's go to the Insights dashboard. Just quickly, before there's a bit more potential to build on top of our partner Basics Enrichment API, which already provides some AI features for users' transactions, which I'll show you. So in our Insights page, we offer tools such as prediction on income and expenses with up to 95% accuracy. We have a play calculator, which is a finance tool that we designed to predict how much money the user can spend right now, respecting their current expenses, invoices, and income. And also our tax estimator, which we designed with an accounting firm, Top Tier Accountants, which estimates tax return and educates users on the Australian regulations and laws, especially since the majority of contingent and gig economy users are non-Australian, and Australian tax laws can be quite intimidating and complex. So let's move on to our third and most interesting feature, the Claro Money, and that is invoicing. So we wanted to automate the process of following up on invoicing for users. So Claro Money sends automated follow-ups, applying any fees, and shows you the state of workflow for it. We also wanted to make it easy to send invoices to. So here you can create or modify a draft invoice, then you can preview it, and then you can send it. So, and also just a note on how we designed this. We wanted to design this with a look and feel of a budget, of a budgeting app. We wanted to represent that, but have more of a semi-automated budgeting tool. So adding an income or expense is easy. And Claro Money will listen in real time if the income or expense is received, or warn you if it hasn't. So ultimately, the budget will consist of income and expenses you add, and classifying incoming transactions as income and expense based on rules you create and our third-party CDR tool, hence a semi-automated business budgeting tool. So there is opportunity for a lot more innovation, especially when you're working with open banking data. Our UI is still a little bit clunky, and it's gone through 3 stages of usability feedback, but we're still refining it, and we welcome all of the feedback. So as mentioned a little bit earlier, we are 50% of the way through development, and we've integrated with open banking already, and we're engaging an ad agency to generate some interest before we launch in November. And that's the end of my presentation. I think I might have run a little early. So thank you all for your time, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Tammy, for your presentation. So I'll give our judges some time to get the scoring the scoring ready. And guys, whoever is listening to us, so that's the time to vote now. You feel free to leave your questions and comments for Tammy. So I'll explain you the voting now. So whoever is on the line, so there's a few more people saying hi. Dan is here, Mahesh is here, Andrew is here, Ian's here. Go Tammy, great presentation. Thank you, guys. So with the voting, so this is the category. First category, innovation and creativity. So basically, is this idea innovative or unique? Did the speaker provide new insights or perspective on familiar topic, or maybe introduce some new and unexpected ideas or concepts? The second category is engagement and audience impact. So was the presentation engaging? Did you feel like you want to keep listening? Did the speaker use some storytelling, analogies, so explain complex concept in a creative way? Did the speaker use some visuals and multimedia elements? And the problem solving, the third category, did the speaker clearly define the problem? Was the problem solved? Or did you understand the solutions, learnings, challenges? So please make sure to vote from 1 to 5. So obviously 1 has been the lowest score, 5 being the highest. So basically you can just pop in the comments your score by, like 555, 333, 441, whatever you want. So please make sure to vote, because as I said, it will be prize for the audience favorite as well at the end of the year. So while you guys voting, we're gonna see if our judges is ready to go. So let's start with 1 second. Let me be organized as well. So I need to see the votes. So make it interactive for you guys. Let's start with oops. Bear with me, guys. Let's start with Tinesh, please. Tinesh.
Come off mute. Hello. Hi. First off, thank you, Tammy. It's always hard to do these things internally, let alone on a live stream. So well done. I quite like the idea at a conceptual level. I have used apps like this in the past for myself and for various businesses, and I know how much of a challenge they can be. For me, I scored what I scored around the 3 for innovation and creativity is because I think there is an absolute gap in the market, and you know this because you've identified the problem around stitching different things together. I think what uniquely placed it for me, and as a new idea or new concept, was the fact that you were bringing in multiple businesses within one app, and it didn't look clunky. And going by your UI so far, the journey you've created so far, it looked like it was fairly well stitched together and very, very easy to use. As a zero user, oops, I'm allowed to mention competitors, but as users, other users on these apps, it's very, very clunky and it's quite painful, and you almost have to resort back to the portal version, which is always painful. So for myself, I've given you a 3 there, but yeah, definitely I like the idea. Is it unique enough? I don't know. I don't know the market enough, but I think the way you presented it, certainly it warranted a 3 for me. So that's my score there.
Okay.
Thank you, Tinesh. Let's go with Kaiser. Kaiser, please.
Hi, thank you, Tammy. Thanks for the presentation. I think now I feel like I'm a little bit harsh with the scoring perhaps here, but I really struggled with I don't know if it's the audio or just I found it really hard to follow. I felt kind of like you were reading from a script, and the tone was like quite monotonous, which probably made it just more challenging for me to like fully understand and follow what was happening. So that might have taken the other scores down a little bit as well. I think I like the fact that the whole thing was rooted on like a personal challenge, and then you kind of like took the bull by the horns and took action and coded the prototype. So like a lot of points for just taking action. That's often the hardest part. In terms of the kind of uniqueness of the solution and innovation, I scored that a 3 because I think it's definitely something that I've kind of thought about as well, that there would be a need for. And I know there's a there's a few apps on the market that do like similar things, and obviously Xero being like one of them, and there's like the big apps that do similar kind of stuff. But I don't think I know the market well enough to understand exactly how innovative this is. It feels like it's sort of maybe like medium innovative, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I actually quite like the UI. Like you said, that was one thing that you were hoping for feedback and weren't fully happy with. But I think that was quite nice in terms of the product. It looks pretty slick. Maybe what you could have done a little bit more as well is just delve a bit more into that, like the pain that you had and the problem that you were trying to solve, to understand like the full impact of this solution.
Okay.
That's my feedback.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Kaisa. And Shane, over to you.
Hey, Tammy, fantastic. Thank you for presenting that. Look, I gave my scores there. I thought you came across very well from a creativity point of view. Yes, I don't know the market as well as you do, so I can't judge from a creativity side of things, but I do, appreciate you had some personal challenges with what you were trying to achieve. You'd tried other things, solutions that weren't working for you, and you utilizing that personal experience to build this. The initiative to do this is fantastic, and that's why I scored it how I did. I thought fantastic to see a demo. It's always a challenge to do live demos and those sort of things. To when you're live streaming as well, with tech, it's always a challenge. But it was great to see. I did like the UI, even though you said it was a bit clunky. I thought it was nice, simple, brought it all together nicely. Why I scored the 3 was more about your learnings and what's next for you. I'd love to hear more about where you're going next with the technology as well. So they're the scores that I had and some of the feedback, but I think overall it's great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Shane. So we have a few votes from the audience as well, guys. Yes, so please make sure to put your votes in the comments. I like this vote. So there's 3 categories. so and then I just dropped like one by one. So I probably should have explained from the beginning. So here we go. 4, 3, 4. I come up with one more category. Here we go. So 4 categories. Mahesh is saying 5, 4, 5. So here you go, Mima. Thank you, 5, 5, 5. Thank you for correcting that. So guys, please, as I said, like it will be great if you pop your votes in the comments, because you need to support the Tammy if she want to win the audience prize as well. And so great job. Thank you so much for the presentation, and thank you so much for your feedback. It certainly, guys, takes a lot of courage to share, your personal story and your ideas, especially, in front of the judging panel. And, we're all experiencing a bit of a social anxiety. Not everyone like public speaking and being evaluated by others. So I encourage everyone there, rather than, dwelling on your doubts, let's focus on, creating this opportunity to showcase your talent and receive the valuable feedback at the same time. So remember, feedback is invaluable in refining your skills and advancing your ideas. So saying that, I encourage everyone who's listening to get out of your comfort zone and join us as a contestant for our upcoming shows. So this is your chance for everyone to showcase your talent and receive the immediate feedback. And, if you want to apply to be part of our show, you just need to visit our website, australiagotechtalent.com. So, let's build it together. So I don't know if I have a website shared here. Oh, I'll share the website next time. So, awesome work, Tammy. Can't see your name. Sorry. Make sure to put your name in the comments. So 313, sorry, the audio quality was a big issue. So I'm not sure, Tammy, what's happened with your microphone, but there's definitely some clunk with your microphone. So that's, I guess, a learning process for all of us. So make sure we triple check the the technology. So I think, we all know in our digital world now, once we're presenting face-to-face, we don't think about these things like technology, but when we want to do the online presentation, I think it's a good learning curve for everyone. So making sure that you triple check all the technology, triple check your slides, your microphone, your video and things like this to make sure that the online presentation go well. Because unfortunately, no matter how great is your presentation, if your audio will fail, that's something that can, that can be a deal breaker. Dan is saying, great job, Tammy, go for it. We all will be waiting, Tammy, for your launch in November. Definitely. And before we finish our today's episode, anyone have any further comments or any questions? And the silence. Tinesh, anything to add? Just to
I was just thinking, I think the audio bit is a really big one, Tammy. I think you did come across a bit echoey. I was having to lean in a few times just to get it, but your visuals carried it for me personally through the journey. So I think that if they weren't there, the echoey that I think a lot of us are getting at this side, the receiving end, it's probably a simple fix. But when you're out in the wild and you're presenting to investors and all the rest of them, they certainly don't have the patience and the energy to correct you on that stuff. So that's a small fix. But other than that, I wish you all the best. I think it's great. It's a crazy journey, so buckle in. And good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. A few more comments coming in. Well done, Tammy. From Anna, thank you, everyone. So, and again, guys, please make sure to share our initiative with everyone who have some sort of ideas, but maybe a bit too shy to share them yet. So this is a great platform for everyone to showcase their ideas and personality. Obviously, I encourage you the usual things: subscribing to our YouTube channel, joining our meetup group, and stay tuned for the upcoming events. So there is more things coming. Thank you, everyone. If no one has anything else to add, I think it's a wrap for today. Oh, Ian's here. Tammy's app is so user-friendly and love UI. Here we go. With the fans. There are fans in the audience.
Brilliant.
Always good to have fans in the audience. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kaiser, Shane, and Tinesh for joining us as a judging panel. And we'll, I almost forgot. And next show, it will be on the 27th of July. 27th of July, as usual, 12 p.m., Thursday lunchtime. And our presenter will be Shan. So will be talking about his startup as well. And I believe his startup is more about cybersecurity, so something different next time. So great work, Tammy. Thank you, everyone. And I'll see everyone on the 27th of July. See you.